We start with the humble start of wipe 2x1 to gather some initial resources. But note that the airlock remains wood, as it'll need hatcheting out later. Now we're going to do something I said I'm not gonna do in a YouTube build, but we've grown together. Last build we even did double stacked Widegap modules with incorporated floating roof bunkers, so I think we're ready. First, honeycomb the side next to the door. Then add a floor tile by first adding this twig frame and building from it. It's done specifically this way to circumvent the triangle splash bug. Next, add twig foundations on both sides here, and do this. Now add a wall here and run down this checklist. Stability must be 79%. Also, it shouldn't have much of a gap on either side. And the wall itself should be slightly lower than the base or about the same height, never higher. This one's about perfect. Next we shall replace this square with a triangle by building out 3 triangles, then from the last going back 1 square, and make sure you can place these 3. If everything checks out, well, congrats! You've just successfully freehanded. You should now make some upgrades before getting rid of the excess twig. Also note how one side has this conditional side texture and the other does not. This side is connected to the base, this side isn't, and that's why we can now enter the base in this silly way. Once inside, upgrade this wall, which is soon to be inaccessible, get rid of the wooden bits, replace door frame with stone wall, and up we go. First comes a roof exit chute with that shelf that you should always be adding. And then 2 more double doors can extend the door path. Now, depending on your freehand, you might get a gap like this. Hopefully a little smaller, that's a good gap. But you never want to have one like this. Bad gap. So make sure not to attach ceiling tiles to the freehanded wall. And now we are bunkering by adding a half-height metal frame to this wall, left of the freehand section, and then hiding it with further honeycomb. Whenever you need to log off, you can now add a twig frame here, which you will never upgrade, and close the bunker thusly. At this point, honeycomb the squares on all sides, and on we go to add a second and a third floor. Alright, first we're going to repeat the freehanding procedure on the other side of the base, exactly as before. Also, don't forget the anti-splash bug triangle here. Now the wall and the checklist. 79% stability check, not even a hint of a gap. Perfect height. And replace square with triangles. I figured it's good to show this whole step a second time, as it's somewhat intricate. Oh, a super important step. Open this wall with a triangle roof and upgrade these 2 honeycomb walls, as they're soon to become inaccessible. And now we expand vertically. First, close the second floor in so you can build in safety. Single door goes here. And there we go. Now, furnace room here. Loot room there. See that little gap in the wall? To close it, add a frame and rotate it so that the outside texture turns from this to this. Now add a roof chute for added security, and if you don't have ladders yet, you can use a twig jump up for now. And this can be delayed, but at this point I'd rather have a proper airlock. So go out and upgrade this under the door part. Then honeycomb with stone like so, also adding an easier mode of entry. And airlock done. Going back inside, we're doing the third floor. These free-handed walls can get a bit annoying to place. If you're having trouble, just do them from outside. As for the inner layout, a roof exit on the right here. And I usually sort of copy the floor below, but honestly, you do you. The roof chute on top is a bit weird looking, but trust me, it makes sense later. Now, as a point of order, add as many doors as you want, but keep in mind that we're going to replace them all with garage doors, so don't overspend unless you have to go offline. And as we now have a fully serviceable base, stage 1 of the build is done. And in the next stage of the build, we'll be making some upgrades as well as adding a second layer of honeycomb. Okay, upgrades! Starting for the purpose of this presentation with the 2x1 core, upgrade walls, ceilings and foundations to HQM. Also adding an armored door here. Continue with the chute triangle. This wall is optional. Going up, gradually switch over to garage doors and upgrade every floor and wall tile you can reach, as well as the loot room shelf and window frame. But leave the furnace room stone, as well as the airlock. Now, going up on the third floor, again, upgrade any wall or floor within your reach to metal. Except for the chute up. That now leaves us with some walls we can only upgrade from the outside. Basically just make sure everything is upgraded except for these outside triangles, the airlock roof combination, and the 2 top levels of these sides. You know what, as a way of making sure we're on the same page, here's a view of all 4 sides. Oh, and if you see something like this stone frame peeking through, upgrade the frame. You can even do this from the outside by setting lookout radius to 0.001. And now we can commence the second honeycomb, which anyone who's ever built a standard 2x1 will instantly recognize. And there we are, back at the entrance, except beautifully honeycombed. Oh, this one's important. When you close the tops of the freehand honeycomb, be sure to attach the triangles to the freehand side. We actually need a gap here. These points of weakness I suggest covering up. And with the honeycomb done, which by the way you could extend up if you wanted to, which I don't, this stage of the build is complete. The next stage is all about those grief protection, cost-saving external TCs and the magnificent compound. Not gonna lie, this part is complex, but adversity is the fulcrum of... So, from the roof honeycomb sides, 2 triangles, square, and a triangle pointing towards the base. Then come 3 squares and a triangle. And again, back with triangles until there's a new one pointing towards the base. From here, a metal square and stone triangle to later support the gatehouse. Then complete the twig half circle, adding 1 more square. And finally, our Satori type disconnectable TC enclosure. Oh, and of course, don't forget the 2 half walls which actually make it disconnectable. When done, connect it back to the metal square like so. And should you get raided and need to replace your main TC, detach the externals with a twig roof here, rebuild main TC, and reattach. Lastly, promise, add a stone triangle here, a twig square, and a bunch of triangles. Upgrade only the two closest to the base and connect back with frames like so. And that leaves us with the freehand sides, which are simplicity itself. Two squares and a triangle. Back with triangles until we have this stone one pointing towards the base. From it, two squares, a triangle, complete the half circle, twig square, and this time a simpler stone disconnectable. You can of course beef it up if you like, I'm on a self-inflicted budget here. Connect back with frames, and done. Now time for the acoustic-inspired gatehouses, which I'm really excited about. Frames all around this square, shop front here, turret right behind, two double doors closing inwards forming an airlock, and a porous partition of some denomination. Now you could just do a ceiling here, but here's a fun idea you could try. I don't know, I love it. Just make sure to get their leg bits out in front like this, so it's impossible to slip through. Either way, for a tight compound, it'll be 3 walls for each side, for a total of 12. Now, the idea of these gatehouses is that nobody is hugging your compound or camping your exits ever again. In addition, it gives the turrets full vision of the compound and base, including into the shooting floor, through the wide gaps, and even the roof. Of course, they don't make much sense before you get turrets, but after you get them, man oh man. And in the final stage, we'll complete our base with freehand bunkers and a gorgeous wide gap shooting floor. Ready for the Widegapathon? Good, good. Roof honeycomb sides first. Upgrade these foundations. And the frames as well, adding 2 on each side. And on top, build part of the shooting floor like so. And same again on the other side. Good, good. Next come the freehand sides. First add these frames here. Up top, complete the shooting floor like so. Here we'll have a nice 2-triangle bedroom. And when you close the garage door, make sure the bed does not clip through. Good, good. And that's the shooting floor done. So what time is it? It's bunker time. And the bunker goes here. A vending machine here acts as an inside-out splash barrier. And the shelf I built from the outside in so as to avoid the triangle splash bug. Rotate the frame to get the conditional side texture. You can add a garage door if you want to, which I don't, and close. To access the bunker, set a twig triangle roof here, which you will never upgrade. And with the bunker open, attach a triangle here. Not like this, we don't want a gap here, but rather to the core, like so. No gap, see? And with bunkers on both sides, this door finally makes sense. And you can use this area for whatever. Personally, I'm a bed and locker enjoyer. Okay, nearly done. With the roof properly closed, all that's left is the finishing touches. Some ramparts, a couple of turrets, a minicopter garage, and that's it. She's done. The Empress. My take on the solo duo 2x1 scene. So what do you think? Tell me in the comments. Those really help drive my channel forward, and trust me, no kind word ever goes to waste. Also, check out the rest of my content. I have a lot of builds, tips, tricks, and various kinds of Rust-related entertainment for you to enjoy. And so, goodbye for now, and blessed be.